was very much hoping I would be able to make today. Happy National Trump Day, everybody. Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States of America. It's pretty much been called, to be honest with you, it was called a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be called. So I'm watching the election last night with my parents and end up falling asleep. I don't even remember what time it was, but I fell asleep while we're watching the results come in. And I wake up, my mom is still awake in the living room. I think it's about like 3 a.m. or something. And I can hear Trump's, what I think is a victory speech, but I'm not really sure. I'm like, am I dreaming this? Is this a dream? This can't be real. And I go out into the living room and I just remember my mom saying, I will never ever forget it. Trump won. Ah, it sounded so good. But before we look at the actual results, as of now, noon on Wednesday, I just want to say, you guys did this. We all did this. If you live in a swing state, if you live in a blue state, if you live in a red state, if you went out there and voted, you did this. And we turned this ship around. But I just remember this time last year how low everyone felt, how morale, I can't speak, how it was so low and people didn't even believe in going in and voting. And we have just been proven that it does matter. There is still hope. God is still in charge. So make sure you enjoy yourself today. Go reward yourself. Thank God. Just enjoy the day. Just thinking about how just demoralizing everything was about 4 years ago and where we are now. We all deserve it. You deserve it. Trump deserves it. Trump's family deserves it, and the country deserves it. And I really do think, I remember 4 years ago having this thought. I hated to admit it to myself, but I had this thought. I was like, it wasn't time for Trump to win. It just was not his time. Now is time. And I think a lot of people needed to really see who the Democrats were. I think they really needed to show their hand. They needed to have that win, because when they got that win, they jumped the shark. They played too hard. So many independents, so many classic liberals, so many moderates voted for Donald Trump because the Democrats went way too far. And this is the thought that I had 4 years ago. We're not ready for Trump. The country isn't ready for Trump. But I do think we are now, and I do think sometimes God will let the devil show himself a little bit, even though he's still in charge. Anyway, let's look at the exact numbers, because I also think that Republicans are going to take the Senate and the House. It's looking like it, but let's look. So first, this is what we have so far. Obviously, we're waiting on a few things, but it's pretty much been called. Okay, this is what I'm disappointed in. I'm disappointed in you, Virginia, over there, blue. What's going on over there? You want to know what else I'm disappointed in? I'm disappointed in you, Colorado, with Tren de Aragua, Venezuelan gangs just taking up residence all over your state, and you're still voting. You're still voting for Democrats. You deserve it. Shame, shame, shame. I'm not surprised by California. That's just, there's no hope there. Pennsylvania is another surprising one. Pennsylvania flipped red, and what I'm hearing is that a lot of the Amish were really mobilized. The Amish were mobilized, and you want to know what? I think that's when I knew it was going for Donald Trump. When you mobilize the Amish, in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, a lot of them came out to vote. They just want to be left alone. They don't pay attention to politics and elections. They just want to be left alone. But that's what the Democrats don't do. They don't leave people alone. So the Amish were mobilized in this election, and many people are saying they might be responsible for the flippage of Pennsylvania. But that's what we have happening right now. Now let's go to the House and the Senate. Here is the House, and again, it's a little bit before 1 p.m. on Wednesday, so it's looking pretty good that might go to the Republicans, which is awesome. But that's where we are so far with the House. And here is the Senate results. So there you have it. It's looking like we might grab the House and the Senate as well as the presidency. I am so unbelievably excited. I feel like on Trump's first term, I don't even think he realized what he was getting himself into. And although he did, a lot of people are disappointed in Donald Trump's first term. What I would highly recommend, it's on, I know for sure it's on Amazon, but there is a really good, it might even be on here on YouTube and you can rent it. There's a really good documentary called The Plot Against the President, and that's really going to take you behind the scenes and show you what Donald Trump was dealing with his first term. I don't even think he was prepared for what he was up against, because it wasn't just, it was the establishment. It wasn't just Democrats that he was up against. It was also against establishment Republicans. A lot of Republicans were blocking him and didn't want him to do the things that he wanted to do. So now that he has that first term under his belt, now that he knows who he can and can't trust, I am so excited to see what he does. I'm excited he's got Tulsi. I'm excited that he's got RFK Jr. to talk about the pharmaceutical industry, the food industry. I'm excited about JD Vance. I'm excited about Elon Musk. Our government, especially the past few months with the whole, Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon debacle, the entire thing that happened in North Carolina, even back to over a year ago with what happened in Maui, people are really waking up to the fact, excuse me, that we have a government that is way too big and they're not doing their jobs. We just need to get back to just fill the potholes, just fill the potholes and calm down. But our government has gotten to be just way too big and they're not efficient. So clearly something's not working. If you're growing, you should be more efficient, but the opposite is true. So I'm really excited, and the Democrats, they just overplayed their hand. They opened up the border too much. Inflation was too high, gas prices were too high, grocery prices were too high, housing costs are going up. Even the economy, jobs, we're not creating as many jobs as we thought we were going to be doing. So they just really, really overstepped their hand and pushed way too many people to Republicans. So the next thing is going to be mass deportations. How is that going to work? Well, I think what they're probably going to do is go after the criminals first, people that are committing violent crime in the U.S. I think what they're going to do is start looking at companies and corporations and cleaning that up, who's hiring illegal immigrants. And I think once you get those two things and get those people out, many people will also self-deport if they know that they're not going to be able to work here and they're not going to be able to continue to commit crime. Otherwise, they're going to be deported. They might go ahead and leave it themselves. However, I am shocked that we didn't see more social unrest. I'm actually really, really surprised. I don't know if we're going to see that or if we just weren't. But if I were to guess why we didn't, and if we don't see it, I think a lot of people just really knew that it was just over for the Democrats. That campaign with Kamala Harris was so bad. I think people just kind of knew and expected, so it wasn't really a big shock. Back in 2016, it was a huge, huge shock. And it was also a shock in the other direction in 2020. I think this time it just wasn't. So, anyway, congratulations, everyone. This was a win I think we all needed. Make sure you go out there, enjoy your day, enjoy being alive and the beauty of being in this country. And hopefully, things will turn around for the better now. So, bye. Have a good day.